Hello everyone. This is just a small guide how to use the calculator I made. It's meant to be for me just to check the Grandmaster skill levels in BNS, but in the end, like I made it a free tool since I evolved it too much. Um, Basically, if you read the instructions, you already know how to use it. But the main goal here is like to check your DPS with Grandmaster levels or how much the book itself or hair book gonna boost your damage. So let's begin with this and how to use it. These are too simple here. Basically, the base main damage is your minimum skill damage. The base maximum is your maximum skill damage. I will show in a bit. I'll explain these also in when I get to it. So character stats is basically your character stats. The AP is attack power. Soul badge bonus, which is your soul badge and not your soul core. This I will also explain. Same as current Grandmaster level, which is if you have, let's say, a skill with level 16 Grandmaster, then you have to add like level 16. This is just visual only. This is will not add anything. It's just an indicator that your skill already boosted with a 30% if you have level 16. Now, um, Grandmaster skill level is basically your book. This is a reference of how much each level of the book, like Green Book adds 1.90 per level, Blue Book is 3.80, Purple 11.40, Legendary 33% with level 18 directly. This is your crit rate and crit damage, accuracy, debuff resistance. I just made a formula I found in the internet. These are formulas from the community that made, and there was a Google sheet about our 50 cap, so I used it here. So if I type, I don't know, for example, this is my crit rate points and this is my crit rate damage, it basically translated into a percentage, like 40%, 225, and stuff like that. The total GM level is different than additional. Let's say if I add my current level as 5, you'll see it added here but not here. If I add, let's say, blue books, it will also add it to the total and additional. So in the total, that means these levels will be added to your current in-game, and in-game you will see like level 11 with 20.90. But in the calculator, it will show the additional here, like how many blue books you already added, like how much level you're gonna get, and how much percentage you're gonna get into the game, which is automatically calculated here. So that's about it. Now let's see how to use it. Okay, so let's start with the skill. Let's say I'm gonna use Ice Rain, which is my blue skill. As you can see here in the under the Ice Rain, it says inflict 2613 to 2818. This is the base and max. So basically, 2613, it's gonna be your minimum base, 2000, like this, and here's gonna be your max, which is 2018. Of course, your attack power. Now, this is the only thing that we need from the skill. One thing you need to know about the skill, even if you have, let's say, Grandmaster level, it will already be calculated by the game, which is going to be calculated with the AP you have, with the current Grandmaster if you have, with the critical, whatever. Everything will be calculated with the game. So this is the max already ready skill by the game made. Now let's take like the P stats. I have 705, 2000 crit with 1.8, almost 3k crit damage. You type them here. 2025. Also, I said 1 to, I forgot, 92. Now, if I look at the soul badge, if you have a soul badge for a skill, like for example my ice rain, which is increased by 55%, then I have to add here 55%. If I, for example, I'm looking for a skill, let's say like Inferno or something like that, or any other class, if you are other class or something, and you don't have a badge for this skill, for example, here is Ice Rain, but I'm tested for Inferno, then I don't add anything here if you don't have the badge. But in my case, I have Ice Rain. Now, to make it as simple as it is, I will just click Calculate. And now here's the trick. The balance tweaker here is basically defaulted by 1. So this is gonna be my average damage I'm doing on a crit hit. I'm not using the non-crits, and this is non-crit, and this is the range of my crits. Okay, so how to test if these actually match or not? We have to do some testing in game, and let me show you that. So if you go into Motion Tower, like I'm gonna use this focus dummy, all I have to do is just use my Ice Rain like a few times just to see the average damage, or basically the min hit or max hit I can do with it, with let's say, I don't know, 5 to 6 hits maybe. So I have to crit, of course. Okay, I'm not critting. Now 6.2, 6.3, 6.2, 6.2, 6.1. Okay, so let's say the average was 6.1, the max was 6.3. I'm not gonna look at the two last numbers. So to do so, we can also go like this. Oops. Okay. As you can see, my average is 6.2, which is kind of correct, but my range is a bit off. So what I have to do here, I just use the slider maybe a bit and calculate again. 6.0, that was not. 6.1, this was my minimum hit. And I never reached here, but still in the range, so I have to maybe reduce it a bit. Yeah, this is more like it, because my average was like 6.2. Now, since this is my correct range and my correct average damage, all I have to do now is just test. Let's say I have only one blue book in my current build, which is that's all I can afford right now. Let's say I want to test if I have another 3 books maybe, or 4 books. This is gonna be my level 8. So if I click calculates again, this is gonna be my average hits. By the way, it's per hit, not total DPS. So each time the skill hits, it does this average damage here, and sometimes it goes a bit more than 6.7, probably 6.9 or 7k, or less, like 6.5 or something like that. By the way, these are optional, so I will add that, but if you want to know your accuracy, just type the number and you'll see. Okay, that's for 1. 2, like even if you add the Grandmaster level and calculates, you'll get the same result, because this is will be your what's it called? Yeah, your damage. So let's say I want to use purple books, but I don't really have purple books. Like if you already have a purple book equipped skill, like these numbers gonna be already calculated by the game for that. If you don't have a purple book, or let's say you have a purple book but you don't have a legendary book, it's the same thing. Since I have blue book, but I want to test my damage, which is without any books, for example, it's 6.2, but I want to test it with purple book, like how does it look like? All I have to do is, as you can see, you can go to Yasin website to get these modifiers. What does it mean? I mean, if I go to Yasin, I go to Force Master Ice Rain. In the Ice Rain, you can see the multiplier here is 2.80 on the blue skill and 3.30 on the purple skill. What I do is I type here my current modifier, which is a blue skill, 2.80, And the new modifier is 3.30, which is the purple skill. Let's say if I was going from purple to legendary, for example, so I put in the current 3.30 and the new is 4.50. Now you get that. Let's reduce this. Now, once I do that, I click once the convert skill tier, it will change the numbers. This is going to be the actual numbers in your skill in-game. It's going to be like that. I need to make this to clean by itself, so you don't click it twice. That's for later. So this is the purple skill on K for me. Instead of this, it's gonna be like this. As you can see, the numbers 3081 3322, right? So if I look here, it's very close. Just one, but doesn't matter. It's really close. Now, if you know it's 6.2 average, if I click calculate, it's gonna be 7K average. This is the jump I can get from upgrade from blue skill to purple skill. Now, since I have already a purple skill, you know, in Grandmaster level, yeah, the first high tier book becomes a skill based damage and not a Grandmaster damage. Now, if I get my hands on another purple book, which is already have purple, but I get another one, I can test with another purple book or blue books or green books. If I do that, that's going to be my average and that's going to be my crit range. Technically, that's it for now. I will add the option for buffed skills, for example, I don't know, like fire beam. If you look there, there's the multiplier 2.70, but under it inflicts 4.05 on additional burn damage. I will add an option to add the burn damage or any other buff like Kung Fu Master blue buff or Assassin blue buff or Blade Master even buff on Thunder Drake. I tested this on my Force Master and two other Blade Masters, and one more Force Master. So if your class have any kind of bugs, let me know. I can test, or you can give me some test. Basically, I can tell you how if you contact me, but I might make a Discord for this just to take tests and stuff like that. That's about it. Yeah, that's about it. So I guess, yeah, catch you later. I will make some guides if I add extra stuff, but that's it for now. If I make a Discord, I'll add it in the description in the bottom. Anyway, adios. I actually forgot to mention one more thing. These tests actually meant to be tested on the dummy. That's what I did. So I assumed like 0 defenses on the dummies. But apparently, since I made this slider here, you can actually adjust this for bosses, for example. Since I typed, you can expect like 700 to 1000 less damage on actual enemies because they have defenses, and I don't have an option to get any enemy defense right now because I don't have the actual files or the official formulas and stuff like that to check the defenses. If someone know, of course, let me know. Otherwise, for example, like in this skill here, let's say I'm dealing 8k average on the dummy. If I go, for example, to Poharan or the Chef dungeon, and I just record or watch my damage to it, it's gonna be probably less by 700 or 1k. You can see, let's say I'm dealing on the dummy 8k and on Poharan I'm dealing 7.3, for example. You can like really adjust, even go down and adjust it to your actual damage on the boss. This is that, let's see, 90, let's say this. So you can see you can play with the slider just to match your actual real damage. So that's gonna be your real time damage on that certain boss or certain dungeon, let's say. Of course, later on I will add extra like buffs on the actual damage just to buff it, but it might take a bit of time when I have time, of course. That's what I wanted to mention as well. Yeah, that's all about it. So basically, all the magic happens with this slider here. Once you play with it, you can actually get your actual damage and stuff like that. That's what I forgot actually to say, but you can actually use this tool to get your real damage instead of only dummies. So it also work for bosses, also work for dummies, and happy gaming.